Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Wow.
So a little background, this is Prashant Patel. He was president of the Viper Club for 4 years, studied these cars, knows them really well. I'm not an expert, so I invited him to come over and look at this 96 GTS. We stopped at the shop first and I showed him all 139 chassis pictures so he could see all the markings, all the decals, everything underneath the car, no flash rust, super nice, huh?
Unbelievable, you can eat off of it.
And then I laid out all the documents, the color documents, so he could see all that. Because there's some internal stuff in there since he was the dealer.
Yes.
That you don't normally see, right?
That's right.
So, what do you think?
This is awesome. Looks great so far. First thing I was noticing was this deal here.
What's that?
See how many times it's been jumped off. This is where you jump the cars because unfortunately the batteries in the...
Go dead often.
Yeah, yep. You have to take the wheel off for it, but this is literally perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's ever had jumper on it.
No.
So where would the negative go?
The negative usually goes to this clip right here because there's not another place to put it. And so you'll usually see some markings and, you know.
So it's not scratched either?
Not at all.
So when we pulled this car in, it had this car had one battery in its life and one oil change, which the sticker's here.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and ordered a Mopar battery, got the correct one. You're right, you got to take the wheel off to put the battery in it. So we put a Mopar battery back in it and we kept the second battery, which I don't think is that significant, but it was a Mopar battery.
Yeah,
also.
I would hold on to that too.
So some of the short mile ones I've looked at in the pictures, it's got quite a bit of oxidation.
Yeah,
flash rust, and this car just doesn't have it.
Usually you get a lot of oxidation on the manifolds. There's no way to keep it clean, but this is unbelievable. This is the time capsule.
Well, how does this compare to most of the ones you've seen?
This is very, very super clean. I haven't seen a clean one like this in a really long time.
Well, it's 1,600 miles. But I've looked at a couple really short mile cars, like under 100 miles, that in my opinion weren't as nice as this car.
Well, it just depends on how they're kept, right?
Yeah. So there were 1,166 of these, right?
Yes, right. 1,166.
So I know you've got probably the lowest mileage 92 in the world.
Yes, I still do.
But these were a huge step up in 96, weren't they?
This was luxury in 96. You finally got some good AC in these things. You got a roof, which was unbelievable. Just the tweaks and, you know, from just such a raw car in 92, making this in 96 was a huge step up for Dodge.
So is there something you can tell by walking up on this one that it's a 96
and
not a later one?
Yeah, the first key you have is right here in the back. The 96s are the only year that the stripes went all the way through the license plate area. So when you're walking up and you look at a 97 or a 96, you're going to see this first and you're going to be like, okay, that's a 96 for sure, because no other years did that.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that.
The stripes are slightly larger, also a little wider, and then the other thing you can't tell is the wheels went from, you know, forged to cast, but that's the big difference right there.
But the 96s just right now seem to be crazy desirable.
They are. Well, it's the first year of the GTS, so it makes it the most desirable.
Well, what does it for me is it looks like a Daytona Coupe.
Yeah, it does.
And the double gurney bubbles, insane.
That's right.
So I mean, these things are actually set up for the track.
Absolutely. You have space for your passenger's helmet too for a change.
I started doing a little more research lately since I bought these. There are still a ton of guys tracking these things.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even to this day, a lot of people are still racing them.
It's a good track car. Always has been.
Well, this car's never been on the track.
No.
But I want you to see the inside of it too, see what you think.
Absolutely.
I don't think, when I got it, I don't even think anybody had been in the passenger seat yet. Now, we put a couple people in it then to load the car up, but.
Yeah, that's unbelievably clean. Everything's factory nice. Even the gear shifter looks great.
Yeah, there's no rub marks on the seats. So, and like you said,
the original Alpine radio.
Is that what they all had?
Yeah, 96.
96 all had Alpines. Yeah. So now that you've seen it, you want to go for a ride?
Let's go.
When was the last time you rode in a 96?
15 years.
That long?
Yeah.
But you've owned more than one of these,
Yeah,
right?
I've owned 3.
You've owned 3 of them.
I've owned 2 96s and a 97.
Come on, you're the Viper expert.
Right here.
Boom. Love it. So I assume you want to see a cold start?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, get back there. You want to go for a ride?
Yes, sir.
All right, open the door.
few years since I've been in one of these.
Bring back some memories?
Yes, sir. Sure does.
Well, you're welcome to drive if you want to drive.
No, I'm good sitting here.
Okay. Such a cool car. Bring back some old memories?
Absolutely, it does.
So what are the most miles you put on one of these?
I think I took a road trip one time and put about 1,200 miles on one of these, but I think the highest mileage one I've ever had was close to 40,000.
Really?
Yeah, it's been
Still a good car at that point?
very reliable.
Really?
No issues at all. They're still pretty simple cars. I mean, although this is the evolution of the next one,
Right.
very simply put together.
But just huge improvements on this in this car to the prior.
Right. But you have anti-lock brakes. I mean, some new things have been added, but still, it's still a very basic car, which was great. I think that's why people bought these cars.
It's crazy. The early 92s. No AC.
No,
Very crude top.
absolutely leaked for sure every time. You get caught in the rain in that, you're in trouble.
So there were 1,166 of these, right?
That's right.
How many do you think are out there that are in this condition?
Very few.
Very
this,
few.
This is showroom fresh. I mean, this is. I'm looking around. I can't find anything wrong with it at all anywhere.
Well, I mean, it had the best caretaker you could possibly have. Again, this was Robert Culver's car,
Right.
Culver Dodge, just so you know that.
Looks like.
And a lot of these cars went to the track, like we were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah. These were tracked a lot. And one thing about these cars, it'll make a good driver look bad real easy.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Well, this car's never been run hard. His son said his dad never ran it hard. He never ran it hard, so I'm not going to run it hard either. This car's at the point now where it's more than likely going to end up in a big collection, I would think.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, at 1,600 miles and being cared for like this, it's insane if I went. You know what's odd or surprising to me is the tires aren't even flat spotted.
No.
I mean, you can't feel anything.
That looks like the good. These are the original tires, and you don't feel anything. It's still smooth.
And they're just so quiet. I mean, again, this is about 500 horsepower in the flywheel.
Always been a good driver's car, for sure. I mean, I daily drove mine for years.
That's neat. I don't think you're one of the few guys that actually did daily drive them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't buy cars and put them up generally. A few here and there, but I love daily driving this car.
So what do you think about the resurgence in the market on these cars?
I mean, you know what? It's coming. It's due. I mean, this is a great American classic. I mean, this is the quintessential exotic American car.
I agree. They were due to come back up.
Yeah.
Man, I sure appreciate you coming out. I mean, you know more about Vipers than I, and to have somebody's expertise put their eye on this car. I knew it was a fantastic car, but you're telling me it's one of the best you've seen in a long time.
This is amazing just to go back in time and actually ride this time capsule.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's great.
All right, so I'll tell you what, we will see you next time
Yes,
on
sir.
the 92 Viper.
Yeah, looking
How's that?
forward to that.
All right, later.
Later.